When you hire a listing agent, you're not just hiring a marketer, you're entering a legal agency relationship. Understanding that relationship can protect you and your equity. Hey everyone, I'm John Barsak, a realtor with Integrity Real Estate, and this is Maryland Real Estate with John, where we break down the home buying and selling process step by step. In the last video, we talked about whether it's the right time to sell. Today, we're focusing on agency and representation from the seller's perspective. What agency means in Maryland, what a listing agent actually does, how compensation works under the 2024 changes, and how to choose the right listing agent for your situation. Let's jump in. In Maryland, agency refers to a legal relationship where a real estate agent agrees to represent one party in a transaction. By law, real estate agents must treat everyone honestly and fairly, but they do not represent everyone equally. Representation depends on the agency relationship that's established in writing. When you hire a listing agent, that agent and their brokerage represent you, the seller, and owe you specific fiduciary duties. Buyers who interact with your agent are considered customers, not clients, unless a separate agreement is in place. Understanding who an agent represents and who they do not represent is critical because it affects pricing advice, negotiations, and how information is handled. A buyer's agent is hired by and legally represents the buyer. Their fiduciary duty is owed entirely to the buyer, and they act as the buyer's advocate from the home search through closing. A listing agent is hired by and legally represents the seller. Their fiduciary duty is owed exclusively to you. Their primary goal is to secure the best possible price and terms for the sale of your home. If a buyer contacts your listing agent directly, that buyer is considered a customer, not a client. The agent can answer questions and help with paperwork, but they cannot advocate for the buyer. Their loyalty remains with the seller. A listing agent's role goes far beyond putting a sign in the yard. In short, a listing agent serves as a strategic advisor, master marketer, and dedicated negotiator, with the goal of maximizing your net proceeds and guiding the transaction smoothly to closing. At the foundation of that relationship are fiduciary duties, legal and ethical obligations your agent owes to you as a client. Your listing agent has the fiduciary duties of loyalty, confidentiality, disclosure, obedience, accounting, and reasonable care. Your agent must always put your financial and personal interests first, striving to achieve the highest possible price and the most favorable terms. Also, your agent must protect sensitive information, such as your motivation for selling, urgency, or the minimum price you'd accept, because sharing that could weaken your negotiating position. Your agent must disclose all known material facts about the property and the transaction, including all offers received and relevant market conditions. Additionally, your agent must follow all lawful instructions you give regarding the sale. Your agent must properly handle and account for all funds and documents related to the transaction, such as earnest money deposits. Your agent must also apply professional skill, market knowledge, and diligence throughout pricing, marketing, negotiation, and closing. These 6 fiduciary duties are the backbone of the listing relationship. Now that we understand the listing agent's duties and roles, let's break down what they do throughout the listing process. This includes getting the property listed, marketing, negotiating with offerers, and managing the closing process. Before your home ever goes on the market, your agent should be doing significant work behind the scenes. That starts with a pricing strategy and comparative market analysis, or CMA, evaluating recent neighborhood sales and current competition to recommend a price that balances speed of sale with maximum return. Your agent should also guide you through preparation, advising on repairs, decluttering, staging, and improvements that can increase appeal without overinvesting. They'll also coordinate professional media, such as photography, video, and floor plans, to ensure your home is presented at its best from day one. Once listed, your agent's role shifts into marketing. They'll ensure maximum exposure, listing the property on the MLS and other platforms, executing a marketing plan, managing showings and open houses, and generating buyer interest. When offers are received, your agent will present and evaluate each one, not just based on price, but also financing strength, contingencies, and timelines. Your agent then acts as the primary negotiator, countering offers, managing inspection negotiations, and protecting your equity throughout the process. They also handle paperwork and contract management, ensuring disclosures and documents are completed accurately and on time. After you're under contract, your agent continues as the project manager for the transaction. They coordinate with the buyer's agent, title company, appraiser, and lender, monitor deadlines, manage contingencies, and address issues that could derail the sale. At closing, your agent represents your interests, reviews final documents, and helps ensure a smooth transfer of ownership. In 2024, a National Association of Realtors settlement changed how compensation is handled and disclosed. One major change is that buyer's agent compensation is no longer advertised in the MLS. Sellers can still offer compensation to buyer's agents, but it's now handled outside the MLS and becomes part of negotiation. The intent of these changes is transparency and flexibility, not eliminating cooperation. Buyer's agents may be compensated in several ways, including through seller-offered concessions, as a negotiated term in the contract, directly by the buyer, or a combination of these methods. From a seller's perspective, the key takeaway is that buyer's agent compensation is now a negotiable term, just like price, repairs, or closing date. Listing agents are typically paid as a percentage of the sale price, but compensation is fully negotiable. The listing agreement specifies how and when the brokerage is paid. What matters most isn't just the fee, it's the level of service, marketing strategy, and experience guiding the transaction to closing. Choosing a listing agent is both practical and personal. Look for someone who understands your local Maryland market, communicates clearly, explains the process in plain language, and presents a thoughtful strategy, not just the highest suggested list price. The right agent should make the process feel organized, transparent, and manageable, while advocating for your interests at every step. Once you've chosen the right listing agent, the way that representation is formally established in Maryland is through a document called the Exclusive Right to Sell Agreement. This is the contract that creates the legal agency relationship between you and the brokerage. It authorizes the agent to market your home, represent you in negotiations, and work on your behalf to bring the sale to closing. The Exclusive Right to Sell Agreement outlines several important things, including the listing term, or how long the agreement is in effect, the listing price and pricing strategy, the services the brokerage will provide, the compensation structure, including how and when the brokerage is paid, and the seller's responsibilities, such as providing accurate property information and allowing reasonable access for showings. It's called exclusive because, during the term of the agreement, you agree to work exclusively with that brokerage to sell your home. Even if you find a buyer on your own, the agreement still applies. The Exclusive Right to Sell Agreement is a legally binding contract, and many of its terms are negotiable. A good listing agent should take the time to walk through the agreement with you, explain each section clearly, and answer questions before you sign. Understanding this agreement is critical because it defines expectations on both sides and sets the foundation for the entire selling process. I'll be posting a video walking through the entire Exclusive Right to Sell Agreement and the common attachments, so be looking for that. To recap, agency and representation matter, especially when selling a home. Understanding who represents whom, what your listing agent is responsible for, how compensation works under the new rules, and what's negotiable puts you in a much stronger position as a seller. Thanks for watching. Everything we covered in this video, and the entire Maryland home selling process, is laid out step by step in my Home Seller's Handbook. If you'd like a copy, head over to johnbarczak.com, go to the contact section, and message me for a free PDF of the handbook. I'm happy to send it your way. When you're ready to explore the next step, preparing your home for sale, jump to the next video in this series. And if you're planning to buy or sell in Maryland, especially in or around Harford County, I'd love to help. Don't forget to subscribe for more real estate insights, and have a great day.